Hello people, it's your boy Austin Smitty and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I will be reviewing Avatar Fire and Ash. Now, had to check something. Now, let me just say that, I just discovered that, no, this is no knock to James Cameron, but Brody, you supposed to make like 10 of these joints. This is no lie. Like, I looked in the plan. We're on Avatar 3. There's supposed to be a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7. And if those do well, then we're going to get maybe an 8, 9. Like, Brody, will you, I don't even, not to say wish death upon no one, but will you even be around for these movies? Like, you got to be filming these, like, actively right now. Because there's no way. Like, there's no way. But that's besides the point. I just had to throw that out there. Like, I think regardless if these movies do good or bad, he's making them. But anyway, Avatar Fire and Ash. Overall, let me just say that I thought I still had a fun. I still enjoyed this movie. I don't think it's terrible, not at all. But I do think out of the three so far, it is the worst. It is definitely the worst. I wouldn't. It definitely doesn't have that same like the first one. I think so far, like the first one, at least for me, the first one has the best story. The second one has a pretty good story as well, but it was really about that way of the water, like that atmospheric and them adapting to a new world. I love that. Same thing. Actually, that's kind of, even though that's kind of the theme here in a way, adapting to something new. This one, it was still good. I definitely enjoy the villain, even though she's kind of the main villain, but she's not really the main villain. Like, I kind of thought she was going to be the main villain, and maybe because in the beginning of the movie, you kind of get that feeling like, oh, it's going to be Jake and the General kind of teaming up to stop her, but that's not how it goes on. And I knew eventually that it would probably get to where the General was going to team up with her, but excuse me, where the General was going to team up with her, but I don't know. I just kind of had a different. I thought it was going to last longer. I thought we was going to, and the movie kind of does stuff like with Loke, which I knew it would because we're coming straight off of what happened from the first movie, where if you haven't watched the second movie, like, come on, this isn't a spoiler, but their brother died and the team dies. So he's coming off of that, and he would go in the spirit realm to see his brother, and he's still holding on baggage from that because he blames himself, and his father, Jake, has these moments where he doesn't respect them, and he still does kind of blame Loke for that. So it's still moments like that. I thought that was also going to be like another main side plot, but it kind of fades away, and then we start focusing on like stuff with Spider, which, if you couldn't tell, as time is going on, Spider is low-key becoming. He's kind of like what the Green Ninja is in Lego Ninjago. He's kind of becoming like that main. Him and Loke are kind of like what's going to be the core of this. Like, I kind of picture Jake is going to probably die. Like, either maybe not in the next one, but maybe in like the fifth one. Like the fifth one, we're not going to see Jake anymore. But overall, I do still enjoy the movie. There are some moments where I thought that I could be wrong, but I feel like they filmed some stuff for Way of Water and saved those scenes, and they didn't add them in Way of Water, so they saved them and put them in this movie. I could be wrong, but that's just me. It felt like they had scenes that were supposed to be in Way of Water, but then they moved them. And then there was a couple of moments where something will happen, and then it will do a jump cut to another scene, and it's not like a clear like segue, or like a clear like this is clearly what's supposed to happen next. It's like it just jumps to another point, and it was weird. I don't know. That's just what I noticed, at least for me. Like, that's what it looked like. Like, it was just jumping to another thing. Like, there would be a moment where the General he'll be trying to hunt Jake Sully, and then it will just cut to him like instantly. Another scene is him just being nice out of nowhere. Like, it was just random. I don't know if that, like I said, I don't know if that was just me, but it kind of felt weird. Like a scene was missing in between that scene and that scene to get us to that scene, to get us to that third part. It just kind of, but maybe it's just me. Maybe that's just, um, and like I said, there's a couple of moments like that, especially pacing. That that beginning, like the whole beginning, like the first half and a little bit of the second beginning of the second half, it does feel like the movie is rushing. And then once you get to like the end of like that middle second half into like the rest of the movie, it feels like the movie's going slow. Like there's moments where the movie goes slow on parts that it doesn't need to go slow on, and then it goes fast on parts that could literally use some more time. Like the stuff with Luke and his brother. But even though we do get a resolution for this, where towards the end Jake does kind of come around and be like, I'm sorry, I was too hard on you, you're still my son. I'm a, that kind of thing. And then I also like the whole thing with Nateri where she kind of still hates all humans. She doesn't like them. And she kind of does neglect Jake in a way because he is still a human, even though he did give up his whole life on Earth to be a Navi. There's still that rejection with that. And then she learns to kind of be okay with it as well. But I will also say this movie gets very very sexual. Very sexual. I don't know how to explain it, but it gets very very sexual. And all I gotta say is the actress, her name Una Chaplin. You made Varang seem pretty. This character, well, on this side, this character, very. You made me like her a lot. Like I like her a lot. She might be my favorite Navi out of everyone that I've seen. She has some very sexy moments. I just had to throw that out there. Like, you know, and her and the general have a lot of. They get high together. They're even a spoiler. There's even a scene where they get high together. So and they start. Yeah, yeah. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah, But that's a sidetrack. I do wish we got more of her. And I think we will. And I do think that as time goes on, the general is going to slowly kind of just weave his way into being a part of Pandora and just living. Maybe she becomes a good guy, and then her and the general just move on with their lives in Pandora. Because I noticed that with the general, they're kind of doing what happened to Jake, where Jake kind of slowly fell in love with Pandora and wanted to be a part of that. And now, even though this isn't the actual general, this is just his memories in the avatar body, we can see that he's in the film that you can see that he's slowly wanting to become a part of that world. And as each interaction with Jake, it's like, dang, he might be right. Maybe I do kind of belong to this world. Maybe I am starting to feel because he starts dressing up as her clan later on, and then he's with her, and then he gets turned down by his own people. So I feel like I like that slow ascent. I will say this though, I am at the point where I don't want this to be a reoccurring thing where because this movie does do a lot of similar stuff from the previous movies, but I don't want it to be a reoccurring thing where Jake is going to fight the general. We're going to think the general is dead, and then he's going to come back a lot. Like I don't want this to be a constant reoccurring thing. I would like the story to go a little bit different now. Now that we kind of ended this trilogy right here, and we're about to move on to the next. I would kind of like it to, you know, I don't really want this to be a reoccurring thing anymore because technically in my opinion, the first Avatar movie kind of feels like his own, and then these two movies feel like they're one of the same. Like these movies feel like like all of it is a continuation, but these two movies feel like a direct continuation. Like it just hopped, like we just watched the next episode. Because from Avatar 1 to 2, you tell the time jump. You can see how long it's been and what's been going on. They tell you that. With Avatar 2 and 3, all you know is their Naveen died. Not Naveen died. Yeah, Neji died. Their brother, his Luke's brother, Jake's son. You know that he died. So that's pretty much all you get from that time period. So it has not been that long. But yeah, for the most part, I didn't I still enjoyed it visually. That's what these movies are. They're always visually going to look stunning. Like, and that's actually the best part about making these Na'vi is making them Na'vi and blue people. These movies can keep going on forever, no matter how old the actors be, because they're going to be Na'vi, so you're not going to be able to tell. But yeah, the visuals always look amazing. I never have an issue with that. This is probably the best CGI we're gonna get, like as we gotten when it comes to movies. So it's always gonna visually look stunning. Always love seeing the behind the scenes stuff for that. The action was good, even though there was some repetitive moments, especially when the traditional back and forth. Because the ending of this movie is kind of like the ending of the first Avatar from 2009, where you think they're about to win, and then they look like they're losing. Then you think they're about to win, then they lose. Then you think they're about to win, then they lose. And you think about the win, and then they lose. And then you think they're about to win, then they lose, and then they actually win. It does that back and forth constantly. It does it here. Yeah. Um, yeah. The action was still good. The acting was fine. I don't. Spider has his moments. But I feel like with Spider, especially what people were complaining about with Spider, is that I feel like it's mostly because of the fact that he's not acting with them. He's basically acting with CGI puppets most of the time. So he be in a room filled with nothing and nothing to bounce off of, and that can be hard, especially as a kid actor. Um, but I feel like his annoyance mostly comes from the fact that he wanted to be an Avatar, and those that watch the movie, right? Eventually becomes that in a way. He eventually becomes that in a way. That's where his annoyance comes from, and I feel like that's intentional because he wants to be an Avatar. And I get some people even want him to die. I don't know. His importance matters, especially because he's the son of the general, and he's kind of in a way he's really the only connection we have between, in a way, the probably the best connection we have between the human world and Pandora. So he is very important, especially now after what's his name? Jake and Sully's daughter gave him the new power. Sigourney Weaver's new character, her character. I forgot her name. Actually, let me see. What is her name? Kiri. After Kiri gives dang. I keep calling him Snake. Yeah, after I'm gonna call him Snake. After Kiri gives Snake his powers. I know that's not his name, but I'm gonna call him Snake. I'm just calling him Snake. But yeah, overall, once again, overall, I thought it was okay. I thought it was decent. I don't, it could have been worse. It could be better. I do hope that we are leading into another direction. I did hear that eventually they're going to go to Earth. I can't wait for that, especially with what they're doing with Snake. Um, especially what they're doing with Snake. Because if they can clone this and make it where humans can come into Pandora, there could be a way for them all the Navi to be able to go to Earth. So that would be crazy. Let me see something. Who is the general in Avatar? Spider. I don't know why I keep calling him Snake. I've been calling him Snake. Spider. Spider. That's who I've been talking about this whole time. Spider. He is the human connection. He's the human connection between both worlds. Spider. I don't know why I've been calling him Snake. Spider. But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. If I was to rate this, the first Avatar, I give like an 8. I give like an 8, maybe like an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed the first Avatar. The second one, like an 8.5. Like on a good day, probably a 9. I my and oh yeah, on a good day, like a 9. Regular, probably like an 8. This movie, it's gonna go down a little bit. I might go like a 7, 7.5. It's still great. It's still great. Don't get me. It still has its moments. It's still good. It's still visually stunning. But there was some pacing that I didn't really care for. Some chopped up scenes I didn't really like. The action got a little repetitive, and there was a lot really repetitive and pointless at times. But overall, it was still it still has enough here for you to enjoy, especially visually. So for this movie, I'm gonna give it. I wouldn't go higher. I would not go higher than. I wouldn't go higher than an 8, and I wouldn't go below a 6. But for me, I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10. So that's where I stand with Avatar. I'm curious to where this is all going to go, especially if we're supposed to possibly get 10 movies. Uh, and they already have dates. Like the next movie, I think is not supposed to come out till it's 2025. It's not supposed to come out till 2029, and then the next one comes out in 2031, and then the next one doesn't come out till 2036. So like, we're gonna be old as hell. Yeah, I am still curious to where this goes. So that's what that. But 7 out of 10 for Avatar: Fire and Ash. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.